I started modeling, and then I've been saving my whole life to become an actor. And that's the money I used to finance this film. Finally, you know, I think I got a seat at the table, and I decided to be a producer, create the opportunity for myself. I know I can create opportunities that wasn't given to me when all I needed was one.
This film is very painful in a lot of ways, very timely. A lot of the images are things we're used to seeing on a daily basis, maybe hourly basis now in America. So Aly, I'm going to start with you. I guess I was very struck by the timeliness of the film in the sense that when did you write this and how quickly were you able to shoot it in order for us to see it now? Because this crisis really seems to have become so exaggerated really in the last 4 to 5 months. But tell me about your timeline.
Well, when I met Lucas some time ago, we started to talk about a possibility to make a move together, and Luca started to told me his story as an immigrant here in USA, trying to live his life, trying to live this American dream. And in that time, we decided that we maybe can write some story about it.
And you're both from Brazil.
Yeah.
Just making sure everyone knows. Okay.
No. Yeah. And then when the government here changed and the immigrant policy changed as well, we figure out that this should be our subject, to talk about immigration here, but not just about the life of a Brazilian guy here, but a Brazilian guy who is trying to live his life, and the only possibility to do it is through love. Maybe find a partner who can help him to survive in this situation. And so around in March, I start to write this script, and in April we decide to shoot, and we shoot during 4 days, and 1 week after this we had this No King protest here.
Bunch are happening tomorrow, so this is good timing.
Yeah. And we bring Luca to Luca. He's going there, and we decide to film it, to put on the short film.
And where did you physically film? Where did this take place?
We shot the film here in LA, but the scene of the beginning of the movie was in San Francisco. Yes?
No, we actually shot in Chicago.
Chicago, sorry.
Due to, at the time, the story came very genuinely, because when me and Aly were talking about what story we want to tell the world, I was going through the process of acquiring my American citizenship, which I just acquired in last June. And
thank you for sticking with us. We need you.
Thank you. Hopefully safe now. But then when Aly had the idea and he said, we finished shooting after that in May, things got really wild against immigrants. And Aly wanted me to go to a protest and film a couple extra scenes. And the protests in LA were unfortunately a little violent, so I told Aly I just don't feel safe, and I had to go to Chicago. Yeah.
Well,
sorry, I get a little emotional talking about it.
Oh, that's okay. It's a very emotional subject, so thank you for sharing that. And I would say one of the many obstacles facing filmmakers now is financing. It's sort of impossible, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
So I want to know, Luca, how did you finance this movie? What sort of tactics did you use? Did you ask friends? Did you get financiers? Tell me what kind of support you had to make the film.
Well, we filmed this film, I think, in 4 or 5 days. I can't recall, but this film has been in the make for the past 10. I had my modeling career at the beginning. So I'm so sorry, guys. I get
it's okay. Honestly, this is a safe room. We all want to cry all day long right now, so it's fine.
Truly, this feels like going back to create this character brought me back to the beginning of my career when I left Brazil at 17. And I had to look back and feel what I felt when I was 17 moving here to bring time to life. And I really
How
wanted...
did that feel? What did it feel like to be 17 in a strange country where you didn't speak the language?
It feels scary. You know, you have no power. You don't belong. And it's a really, really long journey. But I started modeling, and then I've been saving my whole life to become an actor. And that's the money I used to finance this film. Finally, you know, I think I got a seat at the table, and I decided to be a producer, create the opportunity for myself. And I really want to stick to being a producer on the foreseeable future, because now I know I can create opportunities that wasn't given to me when all I needed was one.
Thank you. Let's give him some love. And by the way, it doesn't matter who you are in Hollywood. Every successful person has to make their own work now. It doesn't matter who you are. So you're in great company, and I'm so glad you took the risk. Really, it's
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous and I'm very emotional, because really bringing Ton to life was so challenging. I don't think in my journey I ever looked back to give myself credit for how far I've come, and, you know, for accomplishing my American citizenship and everything else I did. So bringing Ton to life allowed me to do that, and it was the biggest gift. It's the biggest gift that this character gave me.
Thank you so much. It's why we're here. I'm glad you feel safe to share your emotions. I really appreciate it.
I do. Thank you.
And I want to talk about casting. I love Cheyenne Jackson. I'm a huge fan of his. I'm from the Northwest. He's from the Northwest part of the United States. And I really love the chemistry that you have with him on screen. It's palpable. I truly believe these two people love each other. So Aly, tell me about your approach to casting. How did you attach Cheyenne? Did you know him previously? Did you audition him? What was that process?
Well, this was the first experience with Lucas as an actor. So we talk about how important was to us to work with experienced actor to support me and to support him, because was my first time. Well, I had a lot of feature film in my country, and I'm making some important TV shows there, but 10 years after, I became to do a short film in a different country, in a different language. So we decided that it was important to us invite an experienced actor to support us to make this movie. And Cheyenne is a great actor, but at the same time, he have a strong work with the LGBTQA plus subject. So we invite him, and when he read the script, he jumped into.
That's great. He's a real pro. He's really great. And tell me, what was the most difficult day you had shooting? And, you know, everything can go wrong, and it usually does when you're making a movie. You lose a location, or the weather isn't cooperating. What was a day that you had a challenge and you had to cleverly solve that challenge? Maybe Luca, you can.
This is good, because Lucas can tell a beautiful story, because the last scene in this movie is a strong scene. It's too difficult to an actor to find this strong emotion to sell us the feeling that we need to feel. And when I wrote this scene and I shared this scene to Luca told me, "Wow, this is tough. I don't know if I can do it." And I pushed Luca, and in this day, the thing was really, really hard and difficult. But Luca fight a lot to sell us this emotion. So Luca, you can tell us your experience with this scene, because was beautiful. In that day, I thought was the second day, and I told Lucas, "Welcome, you are a great actor."
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I think as far as production, it's so hard to make an independent film and a short with very limited budgets and resources. And on my end, on my shoulder, there was that weight to answers and Aly's expectations, one of the greatest directors of Brazil, who is doing incredible shows, HBO series, The City of Gods, and incredible budget. So it felt a little, hard to like that responsibility. Aly accepted to do something with me in the beginning of my journey. But as far as production, our team was so talented and competent. They really made things happen. Our line producer, sound, costume design, makeup, everybody was so on, multitasking, making everything happen. But the biggest challenge, I think, was emotionally. There was a character, Aly, his sensitivity in writing, wrote something so deep, a character with such an emotional depth. And there was a scene that was so technical. It's the ending scene where the person I love is dying in my arms. I'm driving and holding his wound so he stops bleeding, and
Singing.
And then he has to sing in a way to try to create that last moments of connection before he dies. And that was a lot. And unfortunately, due to budget, we delayed filming that day, and we had to wrap. The sound studio was about to close, and we only had one shot. And they told me we needed to film that in one shot. And that was, this is my first film.
That's a big motivator for you in that moment. Yes.
And then we filmed that scene, and then it didn't go well. It didn't look great. There was lights on me. I couldn't feel it. And then they thought they had what they needed. But when you just know you can do better. And that I couldn't accept it. And they were closing, so I went to Aly and I said, Aly, I respect your work, and I know you're telling me you got what you needed, but I don't think we did. And I really want to try again. I just need one more shot. Give me 10 minutes. And so they were like hesitant, and the studio wanted to close, but the guys really decided to do it. I went backstage, and I was like really concentrating. They were cleaning Cheyenne's blood, and then I came back, and it just, I don't know, that scene was so beautiful. It was one of the most powerful things I've ever done in my life. And it taught me a lesson to really ask for what you need, speak up. And I don't think if I was working with another director that I didn't create that bond I did with Aly, and we didn't spend that time creating that story together, I don't think I'll be able to say, hey, I need to try again. And Aly understood, and we were able to deliver this really beautiful film and tell that incredible story about immigrants that needs to be said and told right now over and over, so people remember who we are and where we all came from. It's not from here.
Yes, agree. And Aly, what do you hope people feel when they watch this film? What is an emotion that you hope you're invoking in the audience?
Well, I wrote this story to try to find a way to tell the people that we are all immigrants in the world. At least if we are not a Native American here in this country, we are all immigrants, or son of immigrants, or grandson of immigrants. So I was trying to create a story about tolerance, about love, and about how important it is to us to look each other. When I decided to make a scene where we are with a young immigrant eating some food in his room, watching TV, I was trying to put the audience in his shoes, to try to sell the audience the feeling that, look, this is a human, this is a guy as you, that have feeling, that have blood, that have fears and dreams. So I have the expectation that this small movie can share a kind of piece of tolerance for the audience.
And relatable. We feel like we know the person.
Yeah.
I think you did that. Yeah. Yes. Let's applaud that as well. And Luca, final question for you. What feedback about the film has meant the most to you when you have shared this with people, whether it's you've sent it to friends, family, audiences like this? What has someone said to you that you feel, oh, this was all worth it? All the tears and the hard work and all the saving that you did all those years to make it. What has felt worth it to you?
The tears keeps on coming, as you know, it one sees. But I think while you're doing screenings in the theatrical release, the short theatrical release we had, it was just incredible to see how many other how many immigrants were texting me and saying, hey, thank you for telling our story. Thank you for reminding us where we come from. And there was a guy from San Francisco who wrote me on Instagram, and he said, I went to see your film, and, I'm from Ireland. My great-great-grandfathers came from there, and I kind of forgot I come from somewhere. I have roots somewhere else. And even myself, it's been 10 years since I left Brazil, and I kind of forgot that, I got so immersed in this culture here, in this language, I think in English nowadays, and then I kind of forgot where I come from, and that's what I say was the biggest gift from playing Tom was that I got a chance to look back and remind myself, hey, you're an immigrant, you gotta do something, you gotta say something, you gotta be proud of it. So I think that was the biggest gift from people writing me and saying, really recognizing and really noticing that they are also immigrants. This country is built by immigrants. The fresh food we have at our table is coming from the hard work of immigrants. The flowers we get on the street market, comes from the hard work of immigrants, And that's what meant the most to me in telling that story. And I didn't even knew it by the time we started shooting this film, because at the time we're filming, there was a little bit of controversy around immigration. At the time, it was mostly talking about tariffs. But then a week later, after we finished, it was just 60,000 people were arrested. And that was very hard.
And it continues to be very, very difficult for people. But I think, again, the reminder of we all come from somewhere. And I think we all forget that.
Yeah.
So it's a very good reminder. And before we wrap, I just want to let everyone know that the film is now available on the platform. So please tell your friends to watch it again, of course. Tell your friends to watch it. And make sure everyone in your peer group sees these films. It's really, it's very imperative that people actually take the time to watch this. But thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. And we're so glad to have you as an American friend. So thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you for welcoming.
Thank you for all your hard work. We really appreciate it. And thank you, Aly, as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.